Alright, y'all. Welcome back to Bed Bible and Beyond, where I read the Bible in front of the Lord because the Lord told me to. And even if nobody ever sees this, it warms my heart knowing that I'm being consistent with something and I'm being obedient. So right now it's 5:43 in the morning, and we'll be reading chapters 31 through 35. So Father God, thank you so much for waking me up. I pray that you open my eyes, my ears, and my heart to your word and give me revelation. I'm ready to read your word and just allow you to guide me through the day and be obedient through the day. And for the rest of the week, because today is Sunday. Or I guess for next week. Anyway, in Jesus' name I pray, amen. Oh, and I just remembered part of my dream. Okay. Oh my gosh. I have to write it down. What is that about? Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. The Lord just gave me back part of my dream that I forgot it was an important part. Anyway, I don't know if I said we'll be reading chapters 31 through 35. Okay, so now Jacob, who is Isaac's son, my heating pad is so hot, y'all. Ooh. I be cold. I can't do the cold, baby. I cannot do the cold. Anyway, Jacob flees from Laban. Now Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's, and from what was our father's, he has gained all this wealth. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him with favor as before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field. Hold on, is Rachel his wife? I believe Rachel is his. Oh yeah, remember he married the sisters Rachel and Leah, and he favors Leah. He favors Rachel. Sorry. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flocks was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me with favor as he did before, but the God of my father has been with me. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, yet your father has cheated me and changed my wages 10 times, but God did not permit him to harm me. If he said, the spotted shall be your wages, then all the flock bore spotted. And if he said, the striped shall be your wages, then all the flock bore striped. Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. In the breeding season of the flock, I lifted up my eyes and saw a dream that the goats that mated with the flock that were striped, spotted, and mottled, or molted. Molted? I don't know. Then the angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob. I said, here I am. And he lifted his eyes. Lift up your eyes and see all the goats that mate with the flock are striped, spotted, and molted. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of the land, and return to the land of your kindred. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, is there any portion of inheritance left to us in our father's house? Are we not regarded by our father's, are we not regarded by him as foreigners? For he has sold us, and he has indeed devoured our money. All the wealth that God has taken away from our father belongs to us and to our children. Now then, whatever God has said to you, do. So Jacob arose and set his sons and his wives on camels. He drove away all his livestock, all his property that he had gained, the livestock in his possession that he had acquired in Padan Aram, to go to the land of Canaan to his father Isaac. Laban had gone to shear his sheep, and Rachel stole her father's house to a good her household gods. Her household gods. And Jacob tricked Laban, the Aramean, by not telling him that he intended to flee. So Laban, let me make sure. Laban is the father? I don't know. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. I've lost my place. So Laban had gone to shear, blah, blah, blah. So Jacob basically didn't tell him that he was going to leave. He fled with all that he had and arose and crossed the Euphrates and set his face toward the hill country of Gilead. When it was told Laban on the third day that Jacob had fled, he took his kinsmen with him and pursued him for 7 days and followed close after him into the hill country of Gilead. But God came to Laban and Aramean in a dream by night and said to him, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad." And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen pitched tents in the hill country of Gilead. And Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done, that you have tricked me and driven away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and trick me? You did not tell me, so that I may have sent you away with mirth and songs, with tambourine and lyre." What is that? I feel like that's a word that I'm learning in my GRE class. I don't know. I think so. I said class. "Why did you not permit me to kiss my sons and my daughters farewell? Now you have done foolishly. It is in my power to do harm to you. But the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad.'" So why is he saying something to him? "And now you have gone away because you longed greatly for your father's house. Why did you steal my goods, my gods?" Jacob answered and said to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought you would take your daughters from me by force. Anyone with whom you find gods shall not live." Wait. "Anyone with whom you find your gods shall not live. In the presence of our kinsmen, point out what I have done that is yours, and I'll take it. Point out what I have that is yours, and I'll take it." Sorry. And Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. Oh, so the daddy didn't know Rachel stole certain things. He thought it was the son-in-law. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the 2 female servants, and he did not find them. He went into Leah's tent and entered Rachel's. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in the camel's saddle and sat on them. Laban felt all about the tent, but he did not find them. And she said to her father, "Let not my lord be angry, that I cannot rise before you, for the way of women is upon me." So he searched but did not find the household gods. Then Jacob became angry and berated Laban. Jacob said to Laban, "Oh, my back hurt. What is my offense? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me? For you have felt through all my goods. What have you found of all your household goods? Set it here before my kinsmen and your kinsmen, that they might decide between us two. These 20 years I have been with you. Your ewes and your female goats, or ewes and female goats, have not miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams of your flock. What was torn by my back hurts so bad. What was torn by wild beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself from my hand who required it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was by day. The heat consumed me, and the cold by night, and my sleep fled from my eyes. These 20 years I have been in your house. I have served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 for your flock. And you've changed my wages 10 times. If God of my father, the God of Abraham, and the fear of Isaac had not been on my side, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God saw my affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked you last night. Then Laban answered and said to Jacob, The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks, and all that you see is mine. But what can I do this day for these my daughters and for their children whom they have borne? Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I, and let it be a witness between you and me. So Jacob took a stone and set it as a pillar. And Jacob said to his kinsmen, Gather stones. And they took stones and made a heap. And they ate there by the heap. Laban called it Jegar Sahadutha. What does that mean? That is one. It means a heap of witness. But Jacob called it Gilead, which means, so they spoke different languages. Okay, so in Aramaic, it means the heap of witness, but in Hebrew, it means the heap of witness. Why did I say it like that? In both languages, it means the heap of witness. Okay. Laban said, This heap is a witness between you and me today. Therefore he named it Gilead and Mizpah, for he said, The Lord between you and me, when we are out of one another's sight, if you oppress my daughters, or if you take wives beside my daughters, although no one is with us, see, God is witness between you and me. Then Laban said to Jacob, See this heap and the pillar which I have set between you and me. This heap is a witness, and the pillar is a witness. And the pillar is a witness, that I will not pass over this heap to you, and you will not pass over this heap and pillar to me, to do harm. The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father, judge between us. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac, and Jacob offered a sacrifice in the hill country and called his kinsmen to eat bread. They ate bread and spent the night in the hill country. Early in the morning, Laban arose and kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned home. So now Jacob fears Esau, which is his brother, if I'm not mistaken. Jacob, this is chapter 32. So I can see that it's still recording. Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, excuse me. Okay, so God's angels met him. And when Jacob saw the angels, he said, This is God's camp. So he called the name of that place Mahanaim, which means 2 camps. Country of Edom, instructing them, Thus you shall say to my lord Esau, Thus says your servant Jacob, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, male servants and female servants. I have sent... Lordy. Lord, wake me up. I have sent to tell my Lord, in order that I may find favor in your sight. And then the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, We came to your brother Esau, and he is coming to meet you. And there are 400 men with him. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed. He divided the people. The Lord told him he would be with him, so he didn't have no reason to fear. He divided the people who were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels into 2 camps, thinking, If Esau comes to one camp and attacks it, then the camp that is left will escape. And Jacob said, O God, my father Abraham, and God, my father Isaac, O Lord, who said to me, return to your country and to your kindred, that I may do you good. I am not worthy of the least of all the deeds of steadfast love and all of faithfulness that you have shown to your servants. For with only my staff I have crossed the Jordan, and now I have 2 camps. Please deliver me from the hand of my brother and the hand of Esau, for I fear him, that he may come and attack me, and the mothers with children. But you said, I will surely do you good, and make your offspring as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude. For he stayed there that night, and from what he had with him he took a present for his brother Esau. He like, let me loosen him up with a present. 200 female goats and 20 male goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 milking camels and their calves, 40 cows and bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 male donkeys. These he handed over to his servants. Every drove by itself, and said to his servants, pass on ahead of me, and put a space between drove and drove. He instructed the first, when I saw my brother meets and asks you, to whom do you belong, where are you going, and whose are these ahead of you? Then you shall say, they belong to your servant Jacob. They are a present sent to my lord, his suit, and moreover he is behind us. He likewise instructed the second and the third, and all who followed the droves. You shall say the same thing to Esau when you find him, and you shall say, moreover, your servant Jacob is behind us, for he thought, I may appease you with the present that goes ahead of me, and afterward I shall see his face. Perhaps he will accept me. So the present passed on ahead of him, and he himself stayed that night in camp. Jacob wrestles with God. The same night he arose and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants, and his 11 children, and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. He took them and sent them across the stream, and everything else he had. And Jacob was left alone, and the man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. When the man saw that he did not prevail against Jacob, he touched his hip socket, and Jacob's hip was put out of joint as he wrestled with him. Hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to see who he... Okay. I didn't know who this man was, this mysterious man. Okay. Then he said, let me go, for the day is breaking. But Jacob said, I will not let you go unless you bless me. He said to him, what is your name? He said, Jacob. Then he said, your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel, for you have striven with God and with men, and have prevailed. Then Jacob asked him, please tell me your name. Isn't it funny how they could just change each other's names? Like, and Israel means he strives with God. So now I'm writing Jacob's name change. To Israel. He strives with God. Okay. For you have striven with God and with men and have prevailed. Then God asked him, please tell me your name. But he said, why is it that you ask my name? And there he blessed him. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, which means the face of God, saying, For I have seen God face to face, yet my life has been delivered. The sun rose up as he passed Penuel, limping because of his hip. Therefore, to this day, the people of Israel do not eat the sinew of the thigh that is on the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip on the sinew of the high. So now we're on chapter 33. Jacob meets Esau. Jacob lifted up his eyes, and he looked, and behold, Esau was coming, and 400 men with him. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel, and the 2 female servants. And he put the servants with their children in front, then Leah with her children, and Rachel and Joseph last of all. He himself went on before them, bowing himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him. Oh, wow. And they wept. When Esau lifted up his eyes, he saw the women and the children and said, "Who are these with you?" Jacob said, "The children whom..." So it's been 14 years since they've seen each other. So Jacob said, "The children whom God has graciously given your servant." Then the servants drew near. They and the children bowed down. Leah likewise and her children drew near and bowed down. And last Joseph and Rachel drew near and they bowed down. Esau said, "What do you mean by all this company that I meet?" Jacob answered, "To find favor in the sight of my Lord." But Esau said, "I have enough, my brother. Keep what you have for yourself." Jacob said, "No, please. If I found favor in your sight, then accept my present from my hand. For I have seen your face, which is like seeing the face of God, and you have accepted me. Please accept my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me, and because I have enough." Thus he urged him and took it. Then Esau said, "Let us journey on our way. I will go ahead of you." But Jacob said to him, "My Lord knows that the children are frail, and that the nursing flocks and herds are a care to me. If they are driven hard for one day, all the flocks will die. Let my Lord pass on ahead of his servants, and I will lead on slowly at the pace of the livestock that are ahead of me, and at the pace of the..." One second. I have to go move.